Hey CNFT family, another deep dive video today. We'll be diving into one of the most colorful CNFT projects out there, Ugly Bros. Let's go. So as usual, we'll be looking at these 6 factors to determine the overall score for Ugly Bros. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about the background of the project and where we are right now. So Ugly Bros was created by Sergio and Dan. It's a great team of 2. We got the artist Dan, who is insanely talented, and Sergio, who is more of the marketer, big picture guy of the project. They're both from Brazil, both really nice guys, and I think the project is in really good hands, and it's giving me a lot of confidence in where the project is headed. I sat down with Serge a little bit before the launch of the project, and here he is talking a little bit about the team, himself and Dan.
I'm basically a celebrity trainer. I've trained like Jane DeVerges from Gina Rodriguez. I trained OT Fambelli from Handmaid's Tale. I feel, I've done a lot in the health and fitness world in Toronto and conferences and everything. It's just like I've always been a musician.
Yeah.
And
what do you play?
That's who I am, basically.
What do you play?
I play every single instrument. So out of the whole collection, there's going to be 20 tracks, the guitars, but everything else is MIDI. So MIDI is just basically a keyboard piano that you can input notes.
Okay.
And everything was recorded via MIDI and guitars. Cool. And I just did it from home. So me and Daniel, we were both from the Dominican Republic. We grew up together. Okay. Basically, we grew up in the same in the same kind of like music scene. Okay. Because he also plays music. So we grew up together. I came to Canada. He followed, and then he's like, "I'll probably go back home." And I'm like, "No, you're not." So that's basically Daniel and me. We've known each other now for over 15 to 20 years now. I've always wanted to work with Daniel.
He's a talented guy, obviously.
He's a machine. That guy is wicked. That guy, to me, like, he's a perfectionist. But I've always wanted to do something with him, but it's just, but NFT allowed it to, because now with NFT, we can make a living, and in addition to that, we could also express ourselves. Yeah, exactly. Because we're artists. We're not like this ain't about money. This is about, getting our dream out now. In
terms of where we are right now, we had the season 1 drop on November 15th, 48 at each, 1K drop, sold out immediately, of course. But then we had 20 of those being animated and with original music, which is pretty cool. And then recently they announced some exciting new drops. We have the Christmas drop on December 19th, 300 to 400 NFTs. They are collabing with AdCal, and those are going to be 20 Ugly Bros each with then 20 original soundtracks. And then we have season 2, the Definite, coming out March 27th for the whitelist holders, basically, and then March 28th on public sale. This is going to be 5 to 7.5K drop, and I'm very excited about that one because I could actually mint one myself this time. All right, so that was a little bit about the project itself, but now diving right into quality and style. The style is really where the project shines, in my opinion. It's quite different. It has, a lot of character. The quality in terms of the artwork, I also think is really good. It's a 3D style NFT. There's a lot of detail in here, good resolution, and it's obvious that Dan put a lot of work and effort into each one. These have some texture to them. The lighting is really cool with the reflections. Everything is just really well made. They have a lot of variety and a lot of interesting things, not something that you would expect. You don't see the laser eyes or the typical traits. Look at the hair, for example. It can't be easy to create all that detail in this hair, for example. Now, another thing in terms of quality, of course, is the music. So in season 1, there were 20 original pieces of music that came with 20 animated NFTs. So when taking into consideration the quality of the animation and putting original music in there, then even looking at the quality of the project as a whole, not just the NFT, it's a solid team, and the amount of effort that they put into creating the project itself in terms of marketing, in terms of the Discord server and things like that is also top notch. I'm giving quality and style a 9 out of 10. Now let's talk about uniqueness. This is another area that is very strong for Ugly Bros. I actually talked to Serge and Dan on a recent Twitter space where I brought up this point about uniqueness and how I appreciated that. And Dan told me that it was a point of focus for him to find an area in the CNFT space that hadn't been done that often. And he mentioned hair in particular, how a lot of projects, they just don't focus on hair, don't give it much thought or attention, and he did the exact opposite, as you can see here. And then also just the 3D style, the textures, the colors, just the shape of the heads and the characters. All of this makes Ugly Bros very unique. So when you see an Ugly Bro, even if it's in your peripheral, you immediately know that it's an Ugly Bro, right? But having said all that, it is an automatic deduction for being a PFP project of 2 points, but a full house for everything else. So an 8 out of 10 for me for uniqueness. Considering that they have 11,000 people in their Discord, it's actually a pretty positive, non-toxic, fun community to be in. And I think a lot of it has to do with Serge probably being the most active creator I've ever seen in any project. He's constantly here participating in the conversation, but then they also have some great mods in the server, Nighthawk, 45 Jeff and others, and they just keep the community pretty strong. They have some talented artists in the community, so they actually announced a collaboration with those artists and are going to be dropping 2,000 NFTs in Q1 of 2022. Now on the negative side, this is a very large community, 11,000 people in here. It can be hard to have a close-knit tight community when it's so big, right? And then we only have 607 actual holders of Ugly Bros. That is a pretty limited number of owners of this project. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. It's not the craziest, most fun community that I've been a part of, but it's full of great people. It's definitely above average, and I recommend that you guys jump into the server, get to know some of the people there, participate, link in the description. So like I mentioned, only around 600 wallets hold an Ugly Bro, but they still have 7,500 followers on Twitter and 11,000 people in their Discord server. They pop up pretty much everywhere. The community as a whole knows who they are, and a part of it is due to good marketing by Sergio, but it's also because it's just a really cool NFT, and that's thanks to Dan. So they have done a lot of great things with the project and got the deserved traction based off of that, in my opinion. It has the potential of turning into a blue chip, a CNFT, and hold its value in the long run. They're doing a great job with that. They're getting a 9 out of 10 for traction. It becomes very obvious that they are thinking about the big picture. They have mapped out their plans all the way throughout Q4 of 2022, season 2 and the Christmas drop and the multiple music collabs, but then also season 3, season 4, season 5 cosplay video series. Let's check out what Serge himself said about what he envisions for Ugly Bros in the long run.
I'm excited who's coming. There's going to be, I can guarantee there's going to be 100 new Ugly Bros, X amount of variation, X amount of variants. There's going to be over whatever. I did 20 tracks for this one. I'm going to do 100 tracks for the next one.
Oh, wow. So you're going to be busy.
It's 100, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna really this is my full-time job now.
Yeah.
We're just starting. Like, you know, if I plan to make an animated series, you could bet your butt that the idea would be to kind of build on that. And I just say, okay, what's now? Cats, dogs? No, I want to do something that will correlate with what we have planned for the animated show, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Ugly Bros learn how to do sports. We're not going to do a bunch of gadgets. We are going to focus on variations and variants and original. You evolve within the Ugly Bros world, but you keep it Ugly Bros because it's very hard to rebrand.
But you guys know that I don't think it's important for every project to score high in this category of utility. But it's something to consider. They are not creating a metaverse. They are not creating a game of any sort. And right now, the main utility of holding one is that you get priority for future seasons. But the value that you're getting comes in the form of a great team that is delivering on a really ambitious roadmap, and I have full faith the growing team that they're assembling is going to actually deliver on these things. So I'm going to give them another high score, 8 out of 10 for value, despite not having, real tangible utility in the traditional sense. Finally, let's look at price. 40 ADA a piece. I think 40 ADA is very reasonable. We see many go to 50, 60, 70 ADA for these sort of drops. 40 ADA is a really good price point, in my opinion. And then another important thing to look at is how is the secondary market? How are sales? And long story short, really well. Floor has risen all the way up to 700 ADA, 660 ADA profit if you were looking at it as an investor. It's currently sitting at around 525. It's really holding its value really well, and that makes a lot of sense. Going back to 11,000 people in the Discord, only 1,000 supply. So just the simple laws of supply and demand, economics 101 would tell you that the floor price would go significantly above mint price, and it has. Highest sale was 5K for this really cool animated Ugly Bro 11. Somebody made a really good profit buying it for $12.50, selling it for 5,000 3 days later. Overall, I think in terms of price, it was a great mint price. Secondary sales have been really strong, and it's a good long-term investment. So I'm giving Ugly Bros a 9 out of 10 for price. So combining all these factors, we end up with a score of 8.3 out of 10. Sharing that top spot with the Go Tribe. These are two of my favorite projects. I wouldn't be surprised if they stay towards the top of the leaderboard, but I'm trying to be as objective as I can, because I want you guys who might not be in love with the project on a personal level to be able to see if this is a good investment, and just to get a good feel for what projects are solid projects regardless of any sort of tribalism. All right, guys, that's it for today's deep dive video. Thanks for watching. If you want me to take a look at your project or your favorite project, let me know in the comments which one that is. If you like the video, you want to see more of these kind of videos, smash that subscribe button, like button, really appreciate that. I stream on Wednesdays and Fridays. I'm having a very exciting guest on this Friday. And then I just released my CNFT Weekly Brew newsletter, so go ahead and check that out. All these links are down in the description. I really appreciate you guys, especially my Viking Squad. Come join us in Discord if you haven't already. See you guys next week.